someone smiles today. Be the reason someone feels loved, and believe in the goodness in people. We're all equal because we are different. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. One God, many faces. One family, many races. One truth, many traces. One humanity. One heart, many graces. One life, many places. One world, many spaces. One humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one humanity. We are one.
Well, welcome everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
New people, just kind of wave your hand here. All right. I was telling a gentleman, Paul, that when we first came here, my wife and I, Jan, I think, Paul, I sat in the same seat. It was an aisle seat, and I thought, okay, there's the back door, so I can bolt. All right? And and to my surprise, the energy that was in this room, okay, was exhilarating, okay? And there was life here. And I was just so happy that we found this little town of Cottonwood, my wife and I, and it was an oasis in the universe that we were just saying thank you. We didn't know how to say thank you to the Great Spirit, the Lord God, until we came here, okay? And we just felt so comfortable, and we were allowed to be us. And at that point, I didn't have my hair. I had a conservative cut because I didn't know what kind of town Cottonwood was. And I said, you know what? I'm going to let my hair grow. I'm going to let it down. And I'm going to come to CUL every Sunday and enjoy the energy here. By the way, my name is Larry Zavalia. My wife Jan is in the back at the table. And we just like to say welcome to everyone. And without further ado, I would like to introduce the Reverend Arvel Bird.
Yes, thank you, Larry. What a great testimony. Welcome, light workers. Did I scare you? Everyone here is a light worker, whether you admit it or not. And Sundays at CUL is a time to recharge your batteries. Get those electrolytes up. Get that light pushing out all over the place. And here at CUL, we are committed to supporting you in your work. And our work starts here with ourselves. Our work starts with our own healing and whatever it takes to heal ourselves. I know, like, if you're like me, you've tried a lot of things. A lot of substances. Trying to find a better feeling thought, a better feeling way, a better way to live. I know when I was leaving home, 19, I said to myself, there's like three choices here. I can be like my brother and become a bully and really try to force my will on other people. But then I look, that's going to wind up in prison, in jail. Don't want to do that. Or I could do what I did when I was a kid. I could withdraw. I go into hiding. I go into the closet, shut the door. But that's crazy. I would be crazy. They would put me in an institution. That doesn't sound like fun either. So there's a third option. Find a better way. I didn't know how to find a better way. So I just stumbled forward, trying this and trying that. And some of it worked, some of it didn't work. But that's the healing process. Finding out what works for you and leaving what doesn't work behind. We're open to all religions, all races, genders. We're perfect the way we are, and we're not judging anybody or anything that you believe. In fact, we're not asking you to change your beliefs or your religions unless you want to, unless you feel it's time. Because what we're going to say here today, and what we've said here for the last 2.5 years, will challenge your beliefs, will stretch you. And in the stretching, your ego will diminish. That ego will fight you. So we bring together every Sunday here a quality experience of music, message, mantra, and meditation. And all we ask is that you leave your emotional baggage out the door. Leave your preconceived notions, your beliefs, your judgments, your expectations. Leave them all out there and come in empty so you can leave full. Full of love, full of acceptance, full of inspiration. And what we hope most of all is that you will find a connection here, not only with the other gatherers, but with Source. Find that connection to the mystical union of oneness. That's my greatest hope. Because that alone will change your life forever. Our basic premise here is that there is a universal thinking mind from which all things are made and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. And this universe, this universal mind, always says yes to us. And we must take this on trust, on faith. Because much of our life is surrounded by the unseen, the unknown. And most of our life we are not knowing, which can be scary because we're control freaks. We want to be in control. And that's what we are coming to know. We have to surrender. We have to surrender our control. And in doing that, we find our freedom. We find our bliss. This is my truth, my faith, and my guide. I am the center of universal light. The spirit of the divine is within me. The power of the universal mind is the essence of my being and my becoming. Today I witness the energy of love manifesting in my life. With mindful awareness and open heart, I surrender my will to the higher will of the soul. From the source of all light and love, I bless you. When we bless someone else, we're blessing ourselves too. It's a boomerang, boom, comes right back to us. So bless everyone you come in contact with. And when I say I surrender my will, I'm surrendering my ego will, which is that will to control. Because that ego is part of our body, our avatar, if you want to call it. And when we surrender that, then we come into alignment with our soul, our higher consciousness, our eternal beingness. And that's where we want to be. That's where I want to be. I'm not going to speak for you. I'm just speaking for myself. I want to be an expression of my soul's consciousness. Our intention today is that everything that happens here be blessed and protected and limited only to the highest divine frequency possible, allowing in divine truth only.
The last major thing for this week is the 15th and 16th is Amazon Prime Day. We are a 501c3 and we are on the Smile program. So if you want to save up your Christmas shopping, your whatever shopping, shop on the 15th and 16th and we get 0.5% of your qualified purchases, which is most anything. If you need help doing that, let me know. We've been getting checks for, our first check was for $20, and we got one for $60, and we got one for $100, and that's just Arvel ordering. No, I'm just kidding. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you so much.
Today I'm going to share how understanding what a timeline shift is can totally transform the way you go about making choices and the way you go about your life in general. What is a timeline shift? There seems to be several meanings of this phenomena, but I'm going to be using this definition. A timeline shift involves moving from an inner desired reality to an outer expression of that in physical reality. In other words, whatever we're perceiving, imagining, sensing, feeling, or visualizing inside that we choose or desire for ourselves and then energize through our feeling state, our emotions, will then manifest in our outer physical reality. There's a catch. It's called lag time. There's a lag time between an inner reality shift and its appearance in physical reality. Now, this can be an individual time shift or a collective time shift. Recently, according to Glacia Raynham, an intuitive life coach and ascension guide, as well as others who study and follow planetary and global energy shifting phenomena, we, as a collective Earth species, just recently went through a very big timeline shift, a quantum leap, a quantum shift of energy as a collective. So as human beings, our ability to hold more light or increase our light quotient has expanded. Things have shifted inside, so external things in our life are going to shift also. We've been asking for a better way of life, both individually and collectively, shifting from duality consciousness into unity consciousness. This means we're going to be experiencing some growing pains and turbulence in our lives. But this will lead us into experiencing a deeper connection with others and the world or the environment that we live in. The reason for this message today is as I've been saying from the beginning, empty out your mind. And I say that again today, empty out our mind, because some new mind-blowing concepts are coming, and you need to have space up here for new concepts. We're in the new paradigm. We're in the shift of awakening. We're in the new earth reality right now. If you've been coming to CUL, you're already aware of this. We're interdimensional beings, time shifting from the third dimension through the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. The collective shift that just occurred is causing us right now to start deciding what we want to move forward with and what we want to leave behind or let go of. It's not about us having to create something new that doesn't already exist. It's simply about realizing that we're already shifting. So what I want to share with you now are 3 truths about timeline shifting that you totally will get to transform the way you go about making choices and the way you go about living your life in general. Number 1, understanding emotions. The first thing you need to know about timeline shifting is that it will change your life when you understand the role that emotions play in this. Your emotions lock you into certain timelines. This means a certain type of vibrational range. Actually, it means we are generating and picking up on frequencies of certain timelines by activating our emotions. The idea here is that we are generating the vibrational frequency of different realities based on our emotions. Well, if we're really feeling good, we're in a certain kind of timeline. And as we continue to feel really good and better, we then to start splitting into better and better versions of that timeline. So we always experience in life a reflection of either what we believe to be true or what our current emotional state of being is. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling really good and you're having a good day, you find more and more reasons to feel good? And when you're having a bad day and you don't feel so good, you find more reasons for that, right? Realize that if we simply give situations a positive meaning, regardless of what our ego would say about this being a negative situation, then we would then shift a timeline we shift to a timeline that is more optimal. Remember, all the different variations of what you can experience exist right now. It's not a question of, can I create it? It's a question of, can you perceive it? Understand that if you give it a positive meaning, you increase the energy, you increase your energy state of being, and you make it more likely that things will keep happening that feel good to you. You will increase your vibration, and you will then perceive some realities that are more in alignment with how you feel. This is about understanding that you've already shifted, and all we have to do is to choose a positive meaning. Number 2, everything in life is a choice. This is really cool because everything already exists, and we don't have to create it. All we have to do is choose it. All the choices exist simultaneously for us, the good and not so good choices. You see, the thing is, most people are on autopilot. They're asleep at the wheel. They do this just simply by living the same thing day in and day out. They're experiencing the same thing day in and day out. The key is to wake up from the hypnotic state of being in this autopilot mind. Things are happening in stimulus response, and when we think from the ego, Like, we're giving our power away. Instead of being in the effect of everything that's happening, like this person did that to me or this person did that to me, we can make a positive choice and start a new timeline. If you just decide to treat every situation as if you chose it, you take your power back, because then you integrate the experience instead of resist it. Start making the decision that everything in your life is a choice. Literally, see everything as your choice. Even things that you don't think are your choice. Pretend as if you chose it. Because at that moment, you start to bring more awareness into it and you start to allow it in. And the moment you allow it in is the moment you begin to transform it. Remember, you don't have to create anything. It already exists. You simply have to choose it. There's an infinite number of probable possibilities that exist. There's an infinite number of timelines that already exist. It's simply about perceiving them and making a choice. Number 3, say yes to the present moment. The third truth about timeline shifting that will totally transform your life is this simple idea. This is the difference between an enlightened person and an unenlightened person. And by the way, I'm not saying that I'm an enlightened person. I'm just pointing out this awareness. This little difference makes all the difference. Say yes to the present moment. Whatever it is, say yes. If you say yes to the present moment, you increase your energetic state of being. You see the truth in life. And what is the truth? The enlightenment is all about understanding that there is no meaning to life except the meaning we give it. Let me say that again. There is no meaning to life other than the meaning you give it. The meaning you give it. The meaning we give it. Can you live with that? Really? Can you live with that? Okay. If you can live with that, stay seated. What we call life is actually more of a virtual reality, like something we're experiencing as an avatar, as a human body, like the movie, but at a higher, greater level where we are immortal spiritual beings. You will experience more favorable timelines by saying yes to the present moment and by understanding the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is that all truths are true. Whatever you believe to be true, that will be reflected back to you. This is about shifting to the reality we want by knowing that it already exists. If you can imagine it, then it already exists. Then it is simply a matter of matching your vibration to it through choosing better thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Ones that raise your vibration by giving everything a positive meaning. Stop asking yourself the question, is this true? Or what is true? What is untrue? And start asking yourself the question, does this work? Does this work for me? Or does this not work for me? Does this serve me or not? Just switch the question alone. That will transform your life. Everything that I'm explaining right now is about shifting your level of consciousness, shifting your level of awareness, and waking up from the autopilot mind. This is the shift. This is understanding what you want. That it already exists and it is seeking you. You don't have to try to create it. You simply have to match up your vibrational frequency. So be here now and know that the present moment is all that exists. Remember the 3 truths about the timeline shifting that will transform your life. Number 1, know that your emotions are what moves you from one timeline to another. Your emotions are connected to the meaning you give it. If you want to shift or change your emotions, give things a positive meaning. No matter what arises, love that. Matt Kahn. Give it a positive spin. Kimberly Kelly. Say, that's great. Edwin Gaines. Number 2, timeline shifting is about knowing that everything in life is a choice. As you make everything in life a choice, you then just start to take your power back. Start making the decision that everything in your life is your choice. Number 3, say yes to the present moment. Your whole entire life will begin to transform. Whatever it is, say yes. If you say yes to the present moment, you see the truth in life, which is, there is no meaning to life other than the meaning we give it. So why not give it a positive meaning, an uplifting meaning? Why not just say, I created this moment. I created this experience. It's okay. I love it. And isn't this great? Why don't we just all say that together? I created this moment. I created this experience. And it's okay. I love it. And this is great. Thank you, and blessings and light and love for self, the community, and planet Earth. I'm Reverend Arvel Berg, co-founder of the Center of Universal Light here in Cottonwood, Arizona.